Hello everyone, my name is Hisham. I'm the owner of Clemson Aeronautics, where we make the riveting and dimpling systems. Today we're continuing with our RV-14A build, and where we left off last night is we have completed this section here, and the next one says not to rivet these two ribs to the spar because they will meet with another nose rib on the other side of the spar. So we are not gonna rivet those, but the others, the in rib, will be riveted to the spars. We'll get to that. First order of business is to rivet two nose ribs to the spar. We have to make sure we're using the second row, not the first row, to rivet those ribs, and that's what we're about to do right now. And now we have to position this assembly here into position and cleco it in the right place. And we have to pay attention to left and right. Now I have positioned the spar where the 9 holes is on the bottom, and the doubler is towards me, which is forward. So if I'm standing here and I'm looking forward, this side would be right and this side would be left. So this here is the left one, and it goes like so. So when we put it like this correctly, this side is the left and this side is the right. And now it's time to install the rest of the HS1004, and it says here by sliding them into place along the stringer. I think I just find it easier to just put it like this, sideways, and put it into place and click with them. I elected to leave the 904 spar off for now till I finish riveting the HS1004. And what I've done is it have 4 holes in it, and there's 2 lower ones and 2 higher ones that also grabs the cap. But I just finished riveting that nose rib right here, which is pretty much the same thickness that what I'm about to do here. So I'm gonna leave my setup the same, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the 2 in the middle of those. I'm gonna do one of them, and I'm gonna go to the other side and do the other one. One tip to make sure of, I'm gonna have to bring my spar to you. You have to make sure that the rib itself is laying flat on the bottom of this before you rivet it. You have to hold, if it's not, you're gonna have to hold it with something or have somebody help you to make sure that is laying flat, because if it's not, part of that rivet is going to squeeze in between and it will stand off and it will get a little ugly. So make sure of that before you pull that trigger. Okay, folks, just getting this rivet in place, it takes a little bit of doing because that tab was kind of pointing inside a little bit. So just heads up, don't go running and getting a drill and running it through or something like that before you start wiggling the tab a little bit and repositioning, so you give the rivet a chance to go through and line up with the other hole, because you got a cap and a spar, and that little bitty tab could be pointing in a little bit, pointing out a little bit. It's not just up and down. So be careful with that while you're trying to put the rivet in. It might not go in initially, but you might have to play with it a little bit to persuade it to go through. One more tip, folks. I got the manufactured head inside, and I have my cup-shaped riveting die in the stationary part of my squeezer. Now I'm going to be riveting like so, and I am worried about the tab being off just a little bit, and this is the advantage of having the cup on the stationary part. So when I put it in there and put it over the manufactured head, I can pull this way. That way the tab would lay flat before I start squeezing, and I would hold it good till I finish squeezing. A little math. Now the rivets that's on the sides that also grabs the caps, it's a little longer than the two in the middle. They are 4-5s. The one in the middle was 4-4. And when I measured both rivets, they are 60 thousandths apart. Difference 60,000. This Cleveland tool adjustable pin have 32 threads per inch. When we do the math, it just works out to about every revolution it will go in and out 30,000. So if the difference is 60,000, I pushed that up and screwed it in 2 full turns, and it gives me the 60,000th difference between both. Make sure you don't screw it out, you screw it in, because this rivet is longer. Well, folks, these are done. All the HS1004 are done, with the exception of the two in the middle, like instructed by Vans in their manual. Now I have 3 of the 904s on this side and 3 of the 904s on the other side, and just to note, the flanges are facing outside, and there is no cap where they're gonna be riveted, so the rivet I have to go down a size. It's a 4-4. It's a 474-4 rivet, I think you've seen me and 100 other guys rivet things like that, and it's kind of the same. I don't see any point to put it on camera. Besides, it is Sunday and I have to go home. So I will be doing this tomorrow at some point off camera, and then we'll see what we're gonna do next. Thank you very much for watching today, and we'll see you next time.